out in New York City FC, Sebastien.
What are some principles you can have these kids take away just
I
by
think
being
from
a very versatile player anywhere?
yeah, I just think it's about patience and really taking the time to learn what you have to do to perform at whatever position you're in. And I think that's the biggest thing, even like last year I had to play right back. And yeah, it's very similar to center back, but there are a little bit different scenarios in it. Yeah, all that. I don't have the lungs for that. But but that's the thing though, is take whatever position and again tailor it to your game to where your strengths outweigh the weaknesses.
Mhm.
So and I think that's the biggest part is literally learning it and kind of transforming the position to where you can succeed. And by you succeeding, you obviously help the team as well.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, well, one he's a jokester, so he always likes to make dumb jokes about random stuff. So like I have skinny like calves, so he'd always comment on my calves every day. And I was like, Patrick, you also have skinny calves. Like we have the same body type. You can't sit there and talk about me like this. But no, I just think he's a really like cerebral person, and I think the way he thinks about the game, even though it's so structured, is still so free flowing. And I think that's one of the most interesting things I've seen from a coach or a manager before is like he would literally we do build ups and he'd be like, okay, Seb, when you get the ball, if the winger presses you, the 6 has to be open, or you can go back to the goalkeeper. If the 9 presses you, you can go back to the goalkeeper. Everything was so structured to where we had 3 options no matter what.
I know Houston was after you. You forgoed a homegrown contract because you wanted to have that experience. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think it was, even when looking back on it now, I think it was a great decision, even though I ended up taking a long route to get where I am now. I think it was great because at the time, my agent and I were talking, and the biggest need I needed for myself to grow as a player was the technical side and the tactical side. And so that's kind of why we overlooked Houston, because MLS is such an athletic game that I would have had to rely too much on my athleticism, and I wouldn't really build the correct tools I needed to become the more complete player. So we chose Denmark because it physically wouldn't have been too demanding on me, but tactically and technically I'd really have to improve. And so I loved it. I loved it for what it was, and I loved it for that reason, because I think it really helped me grow as a player.
I've never heard of people having those kind of conversations.
Yeah. I mean, at first when he said it, I was like, why are you telling me what I got to work on? Like, come on. Like, but no, then I kind of like sat down and we literally watched tape from college. And again, like I'm good. So we kind of watched, and a lot of even my college coaches went through it. They looked through a lot of video and they're like, look, yeah, we understand that you can get away with this because you're athletic, but positionally you're a little bit out of position and stuff like that. So it was humbling, but it was also a learning experience that, you can always get better. And I think because of those conversations I had when I'm younger, I feel that way now, even for myself. Like I'm 29 now, but I still think like every day I'm still learning new things on the field and stuff like that, and how to better position myself. And then you can also pass that on to younger guys too. So the conversation was weird at first, but now looking back on it, I think it was something that's very necessary. And if every athlete can have that conversation, or like you said, artists, I think it's great because it allows you to grow so much more.
Yeah, and I think those are such important conversations to have, not only with other people, but yourself. As a player, we're like, no, I'm good. No one's better than me at this, this, and this. But you really, in order to be the best player that you want to be and to get to the level that you want it to be, for me, I really had to sit down and be like, I'm not good at this. I'm like you. I'm a very athletic player. I know how to play to my strengths, my aggressive nature. But I wasn't the most like technically sound because growing up it wasn't taught to me, but I didn't know that. I didn't have a mentor to look up to tell me that. But to sit down and really have those conversations with myself, and when I was surrounding myself with other players that were just at this level that I wanted to be at, I was like, wow, I'm not even anywhere close to them, and I need to switch things up a little bit. So it's having those honest conversations.
I thought I played to my best ability every game, and that was kind of what it was. It was every game may not have been my best 100%, but I was consistent. And I think to me, that's the biggest thing I preach, especially to the younger kids, is consistency. I mean, everyone, obviously you're not going to play your best game every single time. And the thing is, how can you then bounce back to play better the next game and then keep that going? Because that's the thing, the best pros in the world, they're consistent in what they do. You know what I mean? Cristiano's consistent in what he does. Messi, LeBron James, throughout all sports, you see it. they're able to do the same thing every night that they need to do. And that's, to me, is the biggest thing. And that's what San Antonio was, I think. I think I was able to be consistent throughout a whole year. And that I think that was the biggest part of it.
Yeah. And then, I mean, as a player, when you feel that consistency, when you feel like you're the top of the game, like you're just like, oh, I can accomplish it. Yeah, you know it. You feel like you can accomplish anything. Like I've had many moments like that, and you're like, let's go. What's next? And then you go on and you sign with NYCFC. That's where you are right now, just balling out. How has that experience been for you?
It's been great. I think it's been another growing experience. Though I think this is my fourth year now. I think it's. I mean, I like it. I think as a player, I've grown again technically. I mean, with Patrick, he was so rigid in how he wanted to play that you're forced to play a certain way. But I think it's good. And obviously, when I came in, I didn't feel like I was at the same level as a lot of the guys. And so it's cool to kind of see myself grow into that and become more technical and pretty much level or even up that gap. Even if maybe other people can see it, I can see it for myself. But then again, like we're always our toughest critics. So, so no, I think it's been great. I mean, I've enjoyed the last 3 seasons here. Looking forward to the 4th one, and just kind of like to keep pushing every single year. Advice for that is that you have to be open-minded. You can't think that you're better than any tactic or any technical, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Sure, I can think that I can get out of any situation playing, but there are times where if that tactic becomes second nature to you, you'll be able to play out of literally anything. You know, your individual talent can only take you so far, and that's why teams have managers. You know what I mean? That's why teams aren't just 11 players on the field just playing and figuring it out themselves. So these guys obviously get paid to bring tactics to the pitch, and you as a player are good enough to fulfill that tactic. You know what I mean? So I think that's the thing, is having an open mind and understanding that what you're working on isn't anything to make you worse. It's going to make you better, if anything. And that's how I think you have to look at it. It's just from that standpoint that, okay, if you get this tactic, you become an even better player in this system that you're playing in.
And I think a lot of people don't realize too that if you don't push your ego aside and listen and take it all in, you're going to be gone. I mean, there's always someone there that's ready to take your position. And I think that's important. I've seen a lot of these kids just ego. And I'm like, if you want to make it to that level, you cannot be that way. You need to be receptive, and you need to listen, and you need to take it all in. What is the best piece of advice that you've ever got?
It's actually from my buddy Giles. It was actually when I got waived, and I was pissed, you know, and I was angry about everything, about the whole year and how it had gone. And I was actually at his house, and we were just chilling, and he just kind of looked at me and he was like, yo, I know this sucks right now, but at the end of it, you know, soccer, football, whatever you want to call it, is, you know, it's a cycle, right? So you may be down now, but at some point, I'm telling you right now, you're going to ball out, and then everything will come back to you. And at the time, obviously, that's not what you want to hear, you know? And I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, and he's like, listen, I'm telling you right now, I've come back from an Achilles injury. Like, I've had all this stuff. Like, trust me, believe in what you do and just keep working, and everything will fall into place. And I think to this day, that's kind of the biggest and best advice I've ever gotten. And it's crazy because it has nothing to do with playing, really nothing to do with, you know, soccer mainly. It's just be patient, keep working at your craft, and keep going, and everything will fall into place.
But 5 things you must have before you go to a game.
Or superstition, whatever.
Superstition.
5 things I got to take. I got to take my phone, obviously. Not because I want to use it, but just because it has all my music on it.
Music.
And then I listen to my Burna Boy playlist all through in the locker room, getting ready for games. Yep. And then what else do I take? So I have I actually wear a mouthpiece now. And it's a Nigerian flag mouthpiece. Take that to every single game.
You have concussions?
No. I just
mess
up my teeth all the time.
I used to do that too.
Yeah. What's that, 2?
That's 2.
I wear it's not here, it's over there. It's a watch. I got it from my dad. It's like a pretty cool, like, manual wound watch. What else do I wear? I always wear these glasses. I love these glasses. Don't know why, but I just that's 4.
Do you eat something special?
Not really.
I feel like girls have more like weird superstitions than men do. The women do,
I remember like one game I ate like a bacon, egg, and cheese, and I balled out, and I was like, "Oh, I might have to start doing this every single time."
Every day. No, we eat pancakes every game day. It was like a thing. Everybody eats pancakes. Yeah. Very strange.
I had to play like right back. I played out of position, ate like bacon, egg, and cheese, balled out, and I was like,
running for days.
This might be
in New York. In New York.
Yeah.
New York has the best bacon, egg, and cheese, man. They don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Right now.
All right, number 5. I need one more thing that you have to take in.
Number 5. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I think I only got 4 things that like I really, really take with me.
Do you tape up?
Yeah. So then I get both ankles taped. Don't really have any ankle injuries.
You must have those. You must have the skinny legs taped, man. You must have
tape both ankles and tape both wrists.
Protect those calves, man.
Small tendons.
He out there like a mummy. Out there like a mummy out there.
And how can we order like these art pieces or what?
So for the art, what I do is I like people to like send me a photo that you want. Hold on, let me show you. All right. So this one has like a film over it to protect it. So like this is one of the pieces I did.
That is so dope.
Yeah. So that's obviously me.
I mean, I can't explain this over the podcast, but for the YouTubers, wow.
So that's one. So usually like I start with like a picture of something. So whatever it is.
Wow.
And so this one I just took a picture that I thought was really cool.
Congrats, dog. That looks amazing.
Wait, is that like, is it oil or what are you using? Is it just like?
So it's on a canvas. So I use prints and then newspapers as well.
Wow.
So this is the other one I've done.
Okay, I'm gonna need some.
No, you made this. I was like, yeah. Like I just get bored and I just start making random stuff.
For your birthday, that Jordan one.
I'm in. Oh wait, I have one more question really fast. So like you're into fashion and you're into art. So do you ever see yourself creating like a fashion line or anything?
I do, but I just don't know how to get there yet. I think there's a lot of moving parts that I kind of have to come to grips with, but that is definitely something I do. I'm actually right now like a business development manager type aspect job with a studio out in Cali called Mawa Studios. He's actually a former teammate of mine in San Antonio, and he has a clothing line and stuff. So I hopped onto that, and it's kind of cool. It's so cool. At some point, I get to like make my own line of stuff within his stuff. So yeah, so it's kind of exciting, and I'm just kind of getting the, just the grips of that industry and kind of understanding how it works.
Yeah,
so it's cool.
That's the same with me too, because that's like a passion of mine. So I'm learning. It's been a
should
fun
collab
process.
on something.
Let's do it. I have
think
so
that'd be
many cool
dope.
ideas, especially in the soccer world too. There's some really cool stuff that can still be done. Like,
thank you for having me.
We'll be copping some of that art.
You guys are dope.
When we build up that new train office,
let me know.
We are copping some art.
Let me know.
Let's go.
I got you guys.
No, sick.
Sure.
All right.